I grew up Episcopal, and so I was actually baptized at 4 weeks old. Obviously, I don't remember that. But we were really involved there. My mom was actually a children's minister, and I was at church every Sunday, and I could tell you every single Bible story, but I wouldn't say I actually had a relationship with God. It was more of like, I saw God as like this huge figure in my life, like almost like he did so much for me that I can't have a relationship with him. Like, he's so much bigger than me, and he's so much like more than me, and I'm so much lower that like he wouldn't ever want a relationship with me. And so I want to be baptized because I now have a relationship with God, and he is more than me, but he makes me more because of who he is. Jesus has changed my life because he taught me how to put like one foot in front of the other when I didn't know how to, and he taught me how to be joyful no matter the circumstances I'm in, because even in the bad circumstances that he puts me through, he's there with me, and so I can be joyful no matter what's going on. The gospel is that Jesus died for me knowing that I may never live for him, and he knew all the mistakes I was going to make throughout my life, and he still chose to die for me and save me from all my sins. Whenever I make mistakes, his arms are wide open for me to always run back to, and like he doesn't get mad at me. He's always there to forgive me. Jesus is the reason that I get through my bad days, but also the reason that I get through my good days. Jesus has made the plan for my life and no matter how many times like I try to make my own plan or try to like defer from his plan, he's always there at the end of the day to like put me back on the right track and forgive me for everything that like I've done wrong. Growing up, from the age since I was like 2, it was really obvious to like my parents and doctors that I was gonna have really bad anxiety just from the way I like started living, is like from when I was 2. And it was always kind of there, but then it started to become a big deal when I was in like about 7th grade. And it stressed me out and gave me a lot of anxiety, like going to school. And the part that was hard was it was kind of like irrational anxiety. Like I couldn't exactly pinpoint what was giving me anxiety. I just knew that it was hard to like, I was more of a captive to anxiety than I was to anything else. When my mom would go to drop me off at school, I would cry and like hyperventilate the whole way there. And then we'd pull up to school and I like physically felt stuck, like I couldn't get out of the car. And my mom would like have to drive circles around the block and like around the school until I could force myself to get out of the car. And then I would get really like worked up the night before school just thinking about having to go to school the next morning. And my mom would always come in my room and like try to calm me down, and she would say the Lord's Prayer to me over and over. And I think it calmed me down. I thought it was more just like the repetition of it, like I knew what was gonna come next. But then I started to listen to it, and there's a line in it that says, give us this day our daily bread, which just kind of means like God's gonna provide everything that we need for that day. And I just started to believe that like God is gonna provide everything that I need for that day, and there's no reason to worry because he already has it all figured out and he has a plan. And so when I was in about 7th grade, I couldn't do my anxieties anymore on my own, and so I laid them all down before Jesus and asked him to be the Lord of my life. I started going to City Church youth group when I was in like 5th grade, and I was really plugged in, like went every single Wednesday. And then in middle school is when I started to get like my anxiety, and so I kind of quit going because like unknown people, unknown situations just kind of like gave me a lot of anxiety, and so I quit going. And around my freshman year, I felt like I was ready to come back, but I kind of felt like I was almost too far gone. Like I had been gone for 2 or 3 years, like so much had changed and I hadn't been there, and the group had like changed, and I just didn't feel like it was my place anymore, even though it was. And then a friend invited me to youth, and I just kind of said yes. I don't know why, but I did. And I came, and like I realized that it was my place, and that it was exactly where I actually needed to be at that time in my life. And God was just so faithful to place that person in my life and bring him to me, and for so many reasons, but mainly he brought me back to church and to Jesus and to youth group where I needed to be. Another time where I saw God faithful in my life was summer before my junior year, like right after my sophomore year. I was going through a really hard time, like just a lot of changes happening around me, and that's when my nephew was born, Micah, and it was just like, I'm the youngest, so I've never really seen new life brought into the world, and just seeing that just proved like God can do so much, God can do everything, and God is so faithful, and like just seeing him born and how beautiful that was just kind of renewed and reminded me how faithful God was in everybody's life. City Church has helped me follow Jesus closer because like church on Sundays and church on Wednesdays has taught me like not only how to read my Bible, but like how to use God in my everyday life, and then having leaders like Miss Lane and Miss Carrie want to see me grow, and they help me in every aspect of my life. And then just having girls my own age in youth group and people all my own age, just they want to see me grow, and they want to see me have a relationship with God, and they want to see me be a better person. And then just like the whole church, I'm surrounded by people that they want to see me grow, they want to see me become a better person, and they want to see me, and they push me to be closer to God. Baptism is a symbol that all of my sins have been washed away, and I'm not dead in my sins anymore. God has made me a new person. Baptism is an outward expression of something that's happened inside of me, that I accepted Jesus, and I believe that He saved me from all my sins. My name's Ella, and I've been made new by Jesus.